Pleased to be joined by head coach South Plains College Lady Texans, Coach Michelle Wyatt, joins us after a pretty big win. What I thought was a pretty big win over Howard on Monday night. It was a good Hawks team, and you came in, you had to kind of find your way into the halftime locker room, but after you got on track Monday night, Coach, it worked out for you pretty well.
It did. I think the second half was some of the best basketball that we've played all year. I think we can be really balanced as far as scoring inside and outside, and I thought once Jazz Brainerd got in a little foul trouble in the first half, but once she was in the second half, I thought we had that balance. We're kind of hard to guard right there.
Let's go back to the first half. Early on, it's a 10-point deficit. However, it just seemed like 10-point was kind of the block wall for Howard. You just never let him get too much further away from that. And I really thought defensively you did a good job of standing off what looked like was going to be a pretty good shooting night for the Hawks.
Yeah, it was. And we knew coming in, their three best scorers are three-point shooters, and we knew we were really going to have to guard that. And they still hit some. And I thought after watching the video, we had some pretty good position on a couple of those. So we kind of guarded it a little better, and they just hit some tough shots, and you got to give them credit for that. But, I thought we executed our game plan pretty good of really trying to get out and put some pressure on them and kind of take them out of what they were trying to do. So I was proud of us after watching the whole thing.
The name of the one Howard player is going to elude me now, but the young lady who took the basketball outside on you and you had to switch up a couple of times to defend her, she got pretty tough on you on the dribble, but once you decided how that was going to be defended, you defended that pretty well as well.
Exactly, and that's what we talked about. We knew which ones were really wanting to spot up and which ones were a little bit better off the drive. And so it took us probably the first half to kind of adjust, and we need to adjust quicker than that. We need to be able to watch video and talk about it and be able to be ready to go when the game starts. But at least we did make the adjustments, and I did think that we guarded them a lot better in the second half.
Jazz Brainerd had to leave, as you mentioned early in the first half, some foul issues. But I thought defensively you did a good job of getting some people in off the bench, and I thought you got some pretty quality minutes out of some post players, not maybe necessarily offensively, but defensively. And I thought you rebounded the ball pretty well in Brainerd's absence.
Exactly. She is probably our leading rebounder, so we do have to have a better presence in there when she's not in there. But IJ and Zekwe, is really coming on as a freshman and defending a lot better, getting around. She's just so athletic that she can kind of be deceptive. She's a little undersized, but she can be deceptive. And Rafiga rebounded well, so they did kind of pick up the slack when Jazz wasn't there.
Now you go to the second half, and it looked to me like the timing of this thing was impeccable. She goes to the bench with 3 fouls, comes back in the second half, and doesn't even graze anybody through the back 20 minutes of basketball. Yeah. It was just a whole nother gear for the Lady Texans back half.
It was, and she brings a lot of energy and to us and just has a presence. Because she's, a post player that can bring the ball up and lead the break and then can be your best rebounder and can shoot it outside. She's so versatile that she just brings so much, and she's hard to guard. So we needed that in that first half. And I know if we could just hang on and keep it close until we could get her back in there. She kept telling me she could play with 2 fouls, but I wasn't real sure about that. So I held off till the second half, but then she played really well.
Shooting is a contagious thing. You didn't shoot the ball particularly well in the first half, but it seemed like as the transition game started to heat up, you got some secondary break action out of that. And honestly, I think part of this, the shooting number changes considerably first half to back half. And at the end of the game, the number looked pretty good overall.
It did. We shot 60% in the second half, and that's what we talked about at halftime. We've got to get some easy baskets, and that's what we've tried to do all year in the games that we've been more successful in. We've had some transition points, and we didn't have any at halftime, and then we ended up with 12 in the second half. So that does help that shooting percentage number. But that's kind of who we need to be. We need to get up and down. We need to run. We need to put pressure on them defensively and create some easy baskets. And that's what we've talked about all year. And I did think they adjusted well in the second half to that.
Meanwhile, I don't know what your conditioning program is, but whatever it is, it's pretty good. You really did a good job of playing wire to wire against a Howard team that was almost on a line change system. I wasn't even sure who was in the game at times. They were just flooding in and out so often over there.
We did hang in there, and that's what I told them at one of the timeouts. They're subbing so much. We've got to know our matchups, and we talk about that you've got to pay attention. Every time the horn blows, you've got to look over there and see who's coming in. But I did think that, we stayed with them, and we had 2 kids that played 40 minutes, which is not a good thing for us. But we needed them in there. They kept themselves out of foul trouble. And so we've got to get some of these bench kids some more minutes, and we're working on that. But, yeah, I did think that we hung in there good.
One of those 40-minute players was Alexis Dawn. And just so exciting with the basketball in her hands, I thought, Monday night. Just good off the dribble, good distributing the ball, shot the ball well. drew a lot of fouls. She just did a lot of things well.
She does, and that's really who she's coming into her own, and knowing when to push, knowing when to back it up and run some offense. And she's a great passer, and we've always known that. And we always know she can play 40 minutes. There's never a question of that. When we were in Arizona, I think she played 40 minutes 3 of the 4 games out there. So her stamina is unbelievable. But yeah, I think she, getting herself to the free throw line, knocking down some jump shots. I really thought that she really played a well-rounded game.
And free throws were just fantastic for you Monday night. I mean, it's nice to shoot in your own place. You shoot at those hoops all the time, but you did a good job of creating opportunities to shoot free throws, and when you got there, you did a good job cashing.
And that's what we always talk about, not selling for jump shots, because that's who we need to be, is quick off the dribble, getting ourselves in the paint and trying to jump up there. And we do draw fouls when we do that. It's just that we get a mindset of when we get a little tired, sometimes we settle for jump shots. And so I really thought we attacked it, kept them on their heels, and made them guard us. And then you got to get up there and knock down the free throws. And we, that's something you work on. And we have good shooters. We have good solid shooters. And so I was really proud of the way they shot that.
Get ready for a tough road trip coming up now. We head to New Mexico Junior College. We always know the Thunderbirds are going to be pretty solid. What's some of the early scouting report on this Thunderbird squad?
I've been watching them all morning. Our teams are almost exactly the same. We run some of the same sets. Post player, good presence inside, good guards that can shoot it. They're athletic. Both teams are going to try to run in transition. It's the first time all season that it has been so, to me, evenly matched is what we're trying to do and who we try to be. And so I'm anxious to see. It's just going to be whoever can execute what they're trying to do. But they're good athletes. Like I said, they've got a couple 6'1" kids, a couple of 5'9" post players that do a good job scoring. They're probably more balanced scoring. They all average about 8. 7 to 8, but they've got about 6 or 7 of them that average that. And so they're going to be tough. It's a tough place to play. It always has been. They're going to be well, but I think we'll try to be as ready as we can.
You've been pretty battle tested at this point. You've gone up to Kansas and played pretty rigorous. You've gone out to Arizona and played a pretty rigorous schedule there. This is a team that has earned being just over 500 and 2-0 in conference, and they've earned every blow.
That's exactly right, and that's what I told them all along when we were getting some losses. I mean, we went to Colin and played Tyler and Colin, and I think they've got 2 losses between them still. And Hutch and Seward, like you said, I mean, they're both ranked, and so we. That's why we do that schedule. I mean, it's not about just getting the easy wins. It's about getting us ready for conference. So our non-conference totally has us ready because we've seen everything. We've seen tough competition. And it has helped to go to Arizona and get 3 wins, give ourselves some confidence and that type of thing. And so yeah, I mean, I'm proud of, our record. It could be better. There's no question about that. But as far as our team and where we think we can go, we still have a lot to prove, and we still think we can get there.
All right, good win for you on Monday night. We'll look forward to watching you on Thursday and catch up with you after the ball game. Till then, best of luck to yourself and Lady Texans.
All right, thank you.